Solstice of Heroes is back, and with what little content it's bringing us this time around, I wouldn't blame you if you didn't even realize it was here. Events in Destiny are nothing new to us, however, they have evolved significantly in terms of purpose and price over the franchise's history. This newest iteration of the Destiny event timeline is interesting, to say the least, but not in the ways you might expect. So today we are going to talk about what this year's Solstice is all about, the problems that come with it, how it compares to previous iterations of itself, and what it all means for the future of Destiny events going forward. So starting with the event this year, to keep it short and sweet, you log into the game and head to the tower to talk to Ava for your full legendary armor set and some silver leaves, which are also obtainable from completing any activity in the game while having at least one piece of Solstice armor equipped. You are then tasked with entering the European Aerial Zone, or EAZ, to do the new Bonfire Bash activity, which is basically the same thing as last year, but with throwable balls and only one boss. Upon completion, you get some loot, some of which has the chance to be the new hand cannon, and your silver leaves are converted into silver ash. Silver ash is a currency that can be used to upgrade the stats on your Solstice armor up to 3 times, increasing in cost for each upgrade tier, with the final upgrade tier allowing you to select which stat you want to upgrade specifically. Using silver ash to upgrade stats on a Solstice armor piece, however, can only be done after kindling that armor. Kindling is a consumable acquired for doing Solstice challenges, and similar to the silver ash upgrades, the kindling cost on the armor increases as you progress through the tiers. Upon kindling your armor for the 3rd and final time, you will unlock the default white glow on that specific armor piece. The challenges required to unlock the kindling consumables are also the same challenges required for the new Flamekeeper seal. So in summary, you get an armor set, complete activities with the set to get the leaves, do the Bonfire Bash to turn the leaves into ash, and then use the ash, along with kindling earned from the miscellaneous event challenges, to upgrade your armor. One final thing is that the challenges that reward you the kindling consumable also reward you with event tickets, which can be used to purchase unique event cosmetic rewards, if you're willing to open your wallet. And, well, this is kind of where the problems start to begin. Microtransactions are always a controversial topic, and not just Destiny, but in video games as a whole. I, for one, have never had a single issue with microtransactions as a complement to the primary focus of any given game, as long as there is core content to be done, such as quests, challenges, missions, and whatever else. I'm perfectly fine with having some paid-for weapon skins and transmog options. Bungie is a business, after all, and as such, along with a good product, their goal is to make money, the same as any other company, and I'm not going to harp on them for that. Earning revenue is how the company stays alive, pays its employees, and enables themselves to continue creating content for us to consume. The problem, however, is when microtransactions cross over that line from being a complement to the primary content to becoming the content itself. And this is the territory I feel we are in with this particular Solstice event. This event is superb for any player who does not already have good stat-rolled armor, providing them an avenue to curate their ideal set over the course of the event. However, for any player that already has a set that they are content with, this event's upgradable stat armor set grind is pretty pointless. The set is actually further made pointless as well for those who not only have good stat rolled armor, but have good stat rolls on Artifice armor, which provides an additional mod slot that the Solstice armor does not, further discouraging longtime players from engaging with the event in this manner. If you find yourself in that position, which I am sure a ton of players do, then all that's left to do within the event before you have to spend money is the event challenges to earn the title, Sparrow, and emblem. Without a doubt, one of the biggest slaps in the face to players, though, is the fact that these challenges reward the aforementioned event tickets, but don't allow you to spend them until you pay $10 for the upgraded event pass. The resulting reality is that we are completing challenges for the reward of being allowed to spend money to redeem the cosmetics we grinded for, meaning that if you're a player who already has good armor and doesn't want to spend money on the event, then aside from acquiring the seal, there is nothing for you to do. Now, let's not pretend like $10 is a crazy amount of money. Surely most people will have no problem putting up $10 for a reasonable amount of Destiny content, and we've been doing that for a long time. The problem is that this event, which in the past has had copious amounts of free, lengthy, and worthwhile content for the entirety of the player base, now only has content available to those who pay. When you compare this to previous versions of the event, it's quite startling to see just how much we've lost. In the very first iteration of the event, every player started with the green armor set and had to work their way up to the blue and purple sets by doing a various mishmash of objectives, strikes, gambit, crucible, even reprised story missions, and a whole lot of other stuff. The next iteration of the event featured a brand new activity in a brand new location with the European aerial zone, and also brought daily elemental buff rotators to spice up gameplay in all activities. Now, sure, some of these things were monotonous and boring. It was definitely far from perfect, but at least everyone had something worthwhile to play for before they had to fork over some cash. And speaking of cash, these events had purchasable cosmetics as well, but no one had a problem with them since they were optional purchases rather than a paywalled quest reward for the primary challenges of the event. Compare that to today's event, where it feels like it's only for silver buyers and casual players that haven't yet acquired good armor. Not that there's anything wrong whatsoever with creating an event with the casual player in mind, but it feels crappy to be a long-term player that effectively gets ostracized from the event because we already own the thing that the event is centered around, when previous iterations of the event had stuff for everyone to do. Now, I'm not ripping on the event just for the sake of being negative. Destiny is my all-time favorite game, and part of loving a game is being willing to give feedback on the aspects that are falling short so the developers can aim to improve them moving forward. Because if this course of direction doesn't change, I fear very greatly not only for the future events of the Destiny franchise, but for the seasons and expansions themselves as well. You see, this practice of slowly sneaking in microtransactions more and more into every facet of a game is not a new idea. Gaming companies have been doing this for decades, to the point where you have stuff like Diablo Immortal that requires you to fork over 6 figures to max out a single character. Now, I don't think Bungie would ever get that far, but I certainly don't like the direction we are moving in with this Solstice event, and certainly wouldn't want to see all events take this form, or God forbid have this microtransaction quest reward methodology be applied to seasonal and story content. Ultimately, I just want to pay money for worthwhile content and be able to experience that content all the way through without being nickeled and dimed each step of the way. In Bungie's defense, this is a free event where the rewards that require microtransactions are strictly cosmetic, so we aren't anywhere near the doomsday scenario yet. But the needle is moving, and I really don't like the direction that it's moving in. In my personal opinion, this is just not how an event should be. I have no issue with Bungie monetizing their events. That is not the problem here. The problem is the way they have gone about it this time around. Dangling the event tickets that I've earned from challenges behind a $10 glass wall, quite frankly, feels really bad. I would much prefer to see events return to the form factor of having something for everyone, with event-specific cosmetics being primarily obtained via optional microtransactions completely unrelated to the event objectives themselves, with maybe a couple of cosmetics to earn via gameplay exclusively. This is just my take though, and I would love to know what your take is in the comments down below as well. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.